What's going on, everybody? In this video, I wanted to talk to you about something really cool. So I just made my new video just a few minutes ago, really, talking about how I was coming back and I was going to be doing a lot of new videos. And in this video, I'm doing just that. I'm back and I'm showing you some really neat stuff. So right over here in the studio, I've got the iPad 3 sitting right there. This is my third generation iPad. I've had this for a while, and you might be wondering, why would I be using such an old iPad? You know, there's the newest iPad out and everything. Why are we looking at this particular iPad? And that's something that I really wanted to answer in this question, in this video, is what we're looking at here. And I think it's a really cool thing. So I'm going to come back, I'm going to show you side by side here. We've got the iPad sitting right here. And there's this great app, and I was able to get my iPad jailbroken, and it's really cool. It's an app called Coolbooter. It's right there. I made a video on this on one of my other channels, and I just wanted to show it to you here, so I'm going to go back, take this full screen, and show you how to get it. So it's really simple. You go into Cydia. I'm going to show you what sources you need and everything like that in order to get this up and running. It's really simple. So you're just going to hop into sources, and it's right here. It's coolbooter.com. It's a little hard to see on here because of the theme that I'm running right now, but that's the theme, that's the source, that's where you need to go in order to get this. It's a great thing. You really should check it out if you have an iPad, especially if you love iOS 6. I personally am a big fan of the older versions of iOS. I think that they were most definitely the best versions of iOS, the way they looked, the way they functioned, and how fast and stable they were. So that's what we're checking out here, is the older versions of iOS and how to downgrade to them. So I've got the source for you right here. The source is going to be coolbooter.com, www.coolbooter.com right there. It's http://coolbooter.com. It's a little hard to read, again, because I've got the dark mode enabled on this iPad, but it's that source right there. You can see the icon, you can see the source. Once you add it, you can go ahead and add the Coolbooter app. It's right up here, and we can go right on out, and we'll check out the actual Coolbooter app real quick. So what you do basically with this app, I'm going to go ahead and bring the iPad view back up. What you can do with this app is actually really cool. So let's bring it up in a side by side. So what you do basically is you open up the application, and it has two options for you. Initially it's going to say install, so you can install two different versions of iOS on your iPad. It essentially partitions your hard drive, and you can run two OSs. So I'm going to show you real quick before we downgrade exactly what we're running here. So we've got right now on the iPad, it's rocking on iOS 7. So I've got this great dark mode here, as you can see. 7.0.4 right there in the corner, 7.0.4. Go ahead, hit the home button. We can go on out. And here in a second, we are going to be downgraded back to iOS 6.1.3. So it's a very simple downgrade procedure. Go ahead, tap the Coolbooter icon. Once you've installed the version of iOS you want, every version of iOS 6 is available from 6.0 to 6.1.3. All of them are available. Just go ahead and tap on the boot option, and you're going to see that this is what's going to happen next. It's going to have this little loading screen down here at the bottom. The loading screen is going to go through. It's going to tell you to lock your device. You just hit the power button, and you're going to wait for about 10 seconds. And in about 10 seconds, we can go ahead, hit that power button, and the screen's going to come back on, and it's going to run a few lines of code there. Once that code is done, the iPad is going to boot back up in iOS 6. So it's a really simple method, really easy to do. This is probably the coolest thing I've ever seen. I've made a video about this before, but I wanted to do it again on the tech channel, try to get some more coverage out of it, just because it's that awesome. And there you go. we are running the official iOS 6. It's that easy to do this. So I'll go ahead and open it up. You can see it's iOS 6 just as it once was. Hold down the home button. You got Siri right there, running just like you always remembered Siri in that little teeny tiny window. It's definitely the coolest thing I've ever seen. All the apps are there. You can install your own apps if you want to. Really, really simple, really cool and easy to do. Coolbooter, very simple. Now, if you want to get out of it, that's the question. How do you get back out of it? So what you have to do to get back out of this, very simple process there as well. So I'm going to bring this back over. All you have to do to get out of it, hold down. And here, real quick, I'll go into settings before we leave. You'll see that we are running iOS 6.1.3 right here. You can see that. All right, let's go ahead. And not only is it jailbroken on the iOS 7 site, I think I should mention this before we go back to iOS 7. I'm going to show you real quick. You can also install some tweaks like this one here. You can see I've got the see-through enabled for the notification center. So it's a very, very simple way to run two OSs, and both operating systems can have Cydia in it. It's up to you if you want them both to be jailbroken. Personally, I wanted them both jailbroken. So it's really cool, really simple. Now to get out of it, you're just going to hold down the power button. Very simple. Once that power button comes back up, you're going to slide the power off just like you always did. You're going to have to wait for it to restart. So we're going to go ahead. We wait for it to restart. It's really simple. As soon as the iPad restarts, it's going to be running iOS 7 again. So it's that simple. You can boot in and out of either operating system just by turning the device on or turning the device off. So this is probably the coolest thing. Very simple. So you'll see when we boot back up, Apple logo's got that flat look. So it's going to be back to iOS 7 just like it was when we left. This also works with iOS 8, 9, and for any 32-bit devices. So it works with the iPad 2, 3, and 4. It also works with the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5. I believe the iPhone 4S support will be added soon. Unfortunately, at the moment, the 4S, along with the iPod Touch, and I want to say the iPad Mini, those devices are not supported due to being the second revision of the A5 chip. They are not supported. So the 4S, the iPod Touch, and the iPad Mini are not supported, and there is a specific iPad 2 that is also not supported. I want to say it's iPad 2, and the firmware for it is 2.4. So if you have that specific build, the iPad is not supported. But the rest of them are. Now you'll see I've got the iPad done here, so as soon as it's done, we're right back on iOS 7. Unlock the device, you'll see those flat icons once again, and of course, all your apps are still there. Very simple, very cool. Just thought you guys should really check this out. It's a very cool tweak. So that again is called Coolbooter. Make sure you check that out in Cydia if you have a jailbroken device that is supported. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.